At Rangers, we're not so sure. We know that ideally they've got to try and make up the shortfall that they've lost out in the Champions League. So are they actively looking to sell Morelos? Are they actively looking to sell Kent? Are they actively looking to sell one or two others? We don't know. And like I said, if you're the manager, said in the show on Friday night, there's a natural conflict that happens at all football clubs. Managers want to keep their best players, but there's a business side of it, and the boardroom and the other people on the business side have their jobs to do. And sometimes a collision happens, but as long as it's managed properly, as long as everybody knows where they are, then it should be fine. But I would expect one or two to go from Rangers. And if Stephen Gerrard's to bring anybody in, we hear Gary McAllister mention that they're still actively looking. Of course, that's fine, you've got to look, but I'd imagine Rangers would need to generate money by sales to then go and bring others in, because the board have backed the manager superbly well in the past couple of years, but now they need to start bringing some money in, I would imagine.
Barry, what do you think is going to happen at Rangers over the next 2 weeks?
We don't know. You listened to the manager last week saying in his presser that he does need to recycle players. So that does tell me that if somebody does come in with an offer for one of the top players in the team, that Rangers will consider, Paul. But it's whether that's going to happen or not. That they've got a price on their heads in terms of Ryan Kent and Morelos and even Glenn Kamara, who's been linked with a number of other clubs. So it depends on the money and the offers that come in for them. And the manager was pretty open and honest about it. If the offers are met, the values are met, Rangers will do business.
Keith Jackson's got a major article in the paper today, Mark, where he discusses that, the tension in any football club between, buying and selling, manager wanting to do his very best, the directors trying to do their best for the club as well. And we heard Davey yesterday saying that Douglas Park and the board have, stuck by him and backed him for a long, long time. But it is the model now in Scotland, isn't it, that Rangers and Celtic have to sell one or two of the top players every year and try and get, a supply chain going with younger players coming through.
Yeah, that's the kind of next part for Rangers development, Paul, under the new regime of the past couple of years of Douglas Park and Stuart Robertson and Ross Wilson, is to now I think they've created assets. It just depends what ones they sell. I mean, if they look at Celtic, they see just in this calendar year, Frimpong bought for, $1 million, sold for 10-ish. Ayer bought for 500-700 grand, sold for around 13 million-ish. So Rangers looking at that, they must be thinking, wow, that's what we've got to now do. That's the next step. And as much as Stephen Gerrard won't want that, that's what the football club needs to do. And it's a business, and the football club comes before any individual's desires. So what Rangers want to do is much they want to keep their best players, but they want to create their own funds. They want to become self-sustainable. They don't want to be relying on directors putting money into the club all the time. So if you've got like Morelos that you've bought for one, if you can sell him for 10, 12, 14, 16, it's brilliant. He's helped you win the league, and then you've sold him for a healthy profit. And from that, if it means that, if you sell him for 14, Paul, 10 goes right into the club's coffers, and the manager gets 3 or 4 to go and reinvest on something else. That's how it's got to.
I'm sure the manager will be thinking at the back of his mind that this could happen, and he would have identified replacements, i.e. like a Morelos, a Glenn Kamara, a Ryan Kent even, that a lot of people don't want to see go. But it is the model. They spoke in the AGM, I think it was last September. They did say that this would be coming, this would be happening, this is a model that Rangers are going to go forward with. You don't want to see Rangers lose their best players. Nobody, the manager doesn't, the fans don't, but it's just the way it's going to happen.
And they've missed out on the 35 million potentially there.
They have missed out on that. So it'll be interesting what the next couple of weeks bring.
Tell Alexa to launch Go Radio or listen on the Go Radio app.